wasteful expenditure. I would have wanted also to deal with page 8, since it's a similar issue of wasteful expenditure at Mufumbo Youth Resources Center.
So 8 and 9?
Yeah, so for page 8, I would want to find out from the CS if at all they do monitoring and evaluation. And if they do, why did they wait for the auditor to find out that these students had not reported to school? And then for page 9, Chair, I've read through the response that management engaged the school to avail the list of the number of pupils that reported, and it was availed that all the pupils had reported. I've seen your letter writing to the school and their response. However, I think the evidence that could have made sense to all of us was supposed to be maybe evidence to show that these students were attending class, and that is the class attendance register. Do you have that with you? Because these could be afterthoughts. Just looking at the letters, Chair, if you go to appendix 6,
Yes. Appendix 6.
Look at this letter. It's dated the 24th December 2023 to prepare for this sitting. And the response is dated 8th January 2024. Okay? So that the committee is able to close this case. So for me, I'm asking the proof to show that students had reported, even when we go to do monitoring and evaluation in Mandevo, because I'm a CDF member, we check in the class attendance register. Have you attached the attendance register? Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Sumamba on the same?
No.
Oh, okay, maybe you should let him answer, then we'll pick yours.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you very much, Honorable, for that good guidance. Maybe let me just start by answering the first part of monitoring. Yes, you remember in one of the responses, we've actually alluded to that there was an omission in attaching the monitoring reports when the auditors visited us, and the report is there just to avail and attest to this fact. There is truly monitoring that goes on around. Not only that, the matter was also noticed by our internal auditor. In a report, such unfortunate, Chair, the report is a full extract of the committee paper that went into audit committee. Because of other matters, we didn't want just to attach it, but there's a report here where the auditor raised the concern. So the response that we've put across is trying to marry the two positions, the external auditors and our internal auditor. So when the auditor visited the school, he found out that students were in school, apart from 4 that were out because of they fell pregnant. So the reconciliation that we wrote to school is just to verify, Chair, the position that the school would give. So this is the reason why the letter is coming late. We just wanted to marry up, because when this information was available to auditors, we thought the case would be closed. Then when the matter came up again, we decided to engage the school again to give us a status quo. So a response from the school and the attachment is indicating now a clear status quo that all the students in question truly reported. I think that's what I can provide. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Sumamba, the one of the question.
Yes, Chair. I would want through you for the auditor to confirm that he had sight of the attendance registers.
Council Secretary, have you had sight of the attendance register?
My auditor today?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's around.
He's around. With your indulgence, maybe I don't know, Chair, if I can.
Auditor, yes.
Yes, of course. He went on the ground to ascertain, to conduct physical audits of the students who were there, and that's the time they were just reporting. And by then, they didn't have an attendance register. But of course, I did conduct physical audits regarding the same. This is the reason why this report was actually produced.
But your response is not coordinated. You went there. Yes, first you said, yes, I went there, conduct physical inspection, and that's the time they were just opening. At that time, they didn't have the register. So where did you get the information if they didn't have the register? And did you have the notes yourself, which you presented to management?
Yes, Chair. I went to the principal. Actually, you have to follow protocol. You have actually to start with the office of the principal of the college.
No, auditor, you are not lecturing us here. What we are asking, do you have the document yourself?
Yes, it's
that
there.
indicates there?
It's there, boss.
It's what? Appendix what?
It's appendix 5.
Yes.
Maybe Chair, just to chip in.
Yes. You are the
Well,
what? DPO?
I'm the council treasurer. I'm the director of finance now.
Okay.
Yes.
My question was directly asked to the auditor because I wanted us to know what informed the basis that the students had reported, and the correct evidence would be found in the attendance register. He said he didn't see it. For me, I think he answered the question that he didn't see it.
Let's hear what finance is saying. Yes.
All right. Yes, we acknowledge that. What I just wanted to add in was when the monies were paid, the auditor went on site to actually verify on the number of students that were actually paid for. And then during the process, it was discovered that few students did not actually report. And when we had the external auditors, they actually got the information from the entry meeting. It's something which we had even mentioned to them, that in as much as you have come, we have this issue which is still outstanding. And one of the major reasons which the school had indicated, it's a lack of facilities which has actually been alluded to in the report. And then even after the auditors brought it up in their report, we actually took another verification where we went on site and we established the minutes and even the exact students by names who had even reported and the names who did not report. The matter was reported back to the CDFC committee, and then the advert now has since been now placed to either replace, but the priority has been pushed to the first applicants of yes, the first beneficiaries. Thank you.
Director of Finance, from your explanation, you said you paid and then you went to verify, isn't it? That's what you have just informed.
Yes,
Informed the committee you've paid. So which one should come first? Professionally, according to you and the auditor, yes, which one should come first?
Professionally, before when they just introduced the CDF guidelines, we never had a pure directive as to when we should make a payment. Why. But the new guidelines actually state that we should make a payment when students actually report. But before then, our decision was based on...
All right, I want you to relax.
Okay, thank you.
If you heard me correctly, I've added professionally. Because I know you have to be very careful in who to pay and why you are paying. So I said professionally, before the guidelines, professionally, what should come first? Is it the verification, or anybody can walk into your office and give you any invoice, you just pay? So which should come first? Because it appears to us that, yes, they brought you a list. Here, this is the list for 50 students. Can you pay? And then you paid. And later on you went now to go and check if the 50 that you paid for are really in that school. And then you discovered there are only 20. Then you highlighted when the auditors came. Is that not the scenario? So first we are trying to find out what should happen before you pay. On what basis were you making the payments? Because you should have first verified.
That Chair acknowledged, and our basis of payment was based on the ministerial approval at first. until when we had such a problem, then we started submitting the challenges that we're actually having on site. Then later on, we are being guided by the ministry that the payments now should be based upon the students' report.
Yes, Treasurer, sorry, I'm not, don't want to engage you like that. You said it was based on the ministerial approval. Ministerial approval, so the ministry is here. You send 100 students to Mr. Kazinga, who has not seen them. You think he won't approve? Because you have given to him, you as the person on the ground, you have said, no, we have 100 students here. Him will approve, no, we have approved, CDF can pay. But the person to do the due diligence is you people on the ground. Now have you realized that actually you misled the minister, he signs, but the students are not there because the register is not there. That's where there is an audit query. That's an audit query. Anyway, yes.
On the same chair, on page 7, we have seen also that the approved amount that was supposed to go to bursaries was 297,500. And instead, Chair, they paid an excess amount. They paid 488,250, an excess of 197.50. And then after they've done that, Chair, that's when they applied for ratification. So it's like Kabompo, they can pay before ratification. Which one comes first? Is it ratification comes first before a payment, or payment comes first? I submit.
Thank you very much. Honorable Nyambosa.
Yeah, just on the same one, and also, I will start from what Honorable Shakafuswa asked. What was, when did, if indeed you do monitoring and evaluation, when did you realize that certain number of students were not in school? Is it at the time of audit? Yes. So if you were doing monitoring and evaluation, first you could have verified physically who have reported. Second, you could have been checking regularly to say whether the numbers are still the same, so that it informs your payment system. But you pay without knowing whom you are paying for, as long as the ministry has approved. Chair, what happens is that the people will apply, and when they apply, you take to the ministry for approval. The ministry will approve according to what you have submitted. But the people that those who report, the numbers may drop, and you cannot pay before you physically confirm those who are in school.
Yes.
But this Kabompo Council goes ahead and pays without knowing. Further now, I come to the point of Honorable Simumba, where they paid, instead of 297,500, they paid 488,250 in respect of 65 students, resulting in an excess payment of 190,750. This is a system breakdown. And now when you go to the action taken, the quotation submitted by the students only included tuition fees and did not include boarding fees. Hence the council had to pay for them and later applied for ratification. You see where the mismatch, the situation is. Ethically and in terms of you understanding the basic accounting system, you shouldn't have paid without verification. But here you are releasing money. In Kabompo, you can release money is 500,000 kwacha. It seems you have no care for the money. You release money, then you are just told along the way, if auditors don't come, you continue like that. The colleges are empowered with grants. Then the auditors will come, no, you paid excess. So Chair, why? Where is the internal auditor? Where is the director of finance? Where is the DPO? Those who verify the students as physically present and paying for them. This is a weakness in the system, Chair. And you cannot, I always say, Chair, these are public resources meant to help the people of Kabompo. But we are being wasteful. So the two questions which came from the two honorable members, Chair, they need a serious answer. Where is the audit system? Where is the Director of Finance? Equally, the backstops at you, Council Secretary. Because this is the basis where we gauge you, whether you are in charge, you know what is happening at that council.
Honorable Singombe, in addition, then the Council Secretary will react to that. It's a different question. Okay, maybe, sorry, last time. We'll allow Council Secretary to.
Thank you, Chair, and I appreciate the good concerns from the honorables. Purely, it's also our mandate to ensure that funds are put to good use there. But the scenario alluded to in my explanation earlier did indicate what actually transpired. At the time the students were applying for funding, they had just accessed letters, confirmation letters from school, which just indicated the tuition fees. So when this subsequently were approved by this committee and approved by Ministry for Funding, these schools were told to report to school using their money and resources as we had indicated. So when they reached school, when they reported for school, this is now when the school produced the actual quotation that covered the other logistical support that the school was offering, which were omitted at the time that the approvals were done. So much as we appreciate, it was not a good thing to do, but to us it was a better evil because the students has reported already. They now do disadvantage them to come back and we normalize the situation and get back. So we thought it was an issue that the normal setup we can normalize by just applying for ratification, because ultimately in the actual sense, we are going to incur the new cost at 488 as opposed to earlier cost at 267. This is basically what just transpired and that what contributed to that excess payment.
Council Secretary, we appreciate your explanation. But what we are saying is we feel the professional misconduct, because when they were reporting, after we paid the first payment, the auditor and the DPO, that's why we always insist, the auditor would have gone to the institution and get a quotation of what was required. Okay, on that basis, because before you pay, you must have that from the institution. The basis of you starting paying the difference, or whether you had paid it or what, there should be, the document from the institution. And if that document was attached, was there, that we went there, I think auditors' work was going to be easy, because they wouldn't have struggled to know what transpired. Because then you would have been having documentary evidence. But that was not there. And for us to start connecting these things, no, we did this because we thought we were going to do this. At the end of the day, it's the same amount. We don't want to use shortcuts. We want to make sure that everybody, even somebody who comes today, when the auditors come, even if you are not there, just the information on the file, there will be no queries. Honorable Shagafos.
Chair, just the last one on page 8 on the Kabompo boarding school.
Is it a new question?
No, it's on the same.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so from your report and the council minutes, I'm glad this one you picked it, because it's saying a review of the council minutes and the fiscal inspection conducted on 5th May 2023 at a school revealed that the institution had 40 pupils that had not reported to the school, thereby rendering amounts totaling 126,000 kwacha paid as tuition fee wasteful. And I'm glad that on Appendix 6, on the response from the school, they've actually tabulated Term 1, 1,000, Term 2, 1,000, Term 3, 1,000. So Term 1 runs from January to somewhere April. Term 2, is it April, May, June,
May up to August.
July. And you had picked that 42 students had not reported at this time. And from the auditor and yourself, town clerk, you are saying that as at 8th January, all the students had what? Reported. Your report, it's your report, which is saying as at as at 5th May, 42 students had not reported. And you further given us a letter for 9th January 2024 that all the 90 had reported. Who's telling the truth here? And if we are to go with your report, have you recovered the funds of the pupils who had not reported for term 1 and 2? I'm reading your reports and trying to make sense of them.
Secretary.
Chair, we acknowledge the omission. Let me just recommend the Honorable to the point he has picked on the date 5th May 2023, and the amount totaling to 126 as wasteful. I was married to the attachment that went to school and the response that came from school in relation to the number of students that applied and were admitted. Maybe let me start by answering the first one. On the actual date, we acknowledge there was an omission because we wanted to portray a picture and balance up two scenarios from our internal auditor and the external auditors. Because at the time of verification, it was established that these students were not in school. So no wonder it took us all this way to go engage the school to ensure that they give us now actual data of the students that were in school. But as we speak, the wasteful expenditure is not there because it has been consumed, students reported, and the money has been swallowed up. So the omission, we apologize, maybe it could be the mix-up in dates. But the picture we wanted to portray is that the number of students queried actually did report at some time, later, but not an actual day, which again, the subsequent 126 funds, 1,000 applied for their use was actually applied. That's in summary, this is what I can put across here. Thank you.
There is usually a temptation.
No, I'm not.
There is usually a temptation by councils when we are looking at 2022. I will give reference to what Honorable Shakafuso has asked. There is a wasteful expenditure because some of the students are not seen. It's termed as wasteful expenditure. Then the monies, instead of recovering, the following year, subsequent year, they will go and fill up those gaps. And they will come and tell this committee and the nation that no, actually it's not wasteful because the monies we reconciled and we filled up the gap. But if you leave it up to 2022, the year under review, the audit that we are dealing with, you find that as at the close of the year, there was wasteful expenditure.
Exactly.
So this is the thing that they need to know, that this committee is alive to that fact. And when we are sitting here, we are very much aware that we are dealing with the year 2022. If you fail to use the monies accordingly within that audit year, for us, we leave it there. If the monies go, you come and balance it up or rectify it in the ensuing year. For you, you have solved the problem, it's not wasteful. But for us, we question your professionalism as at that year, close of the year. So you must bear in mind that we are alive to that fact. Thank you, Chair.
Yes.
Last one, Chair, is to ask, for me, I'm not satisfied with the answer that you've given. I will still ask you to go back, verify the attendance register, and record the funds for term 1 and term 2 for the 42 students who didn't report. Because you paid, and these school, students were not in school. And this is what you are reporting to us. So the funds must come back to you so that you apply them for other needs or more students.
The last one on the same chair. I wanted to know why is the confirmation from this school confirming that term 1 and term 2 the pupils were 90, while in your report you have confirmed that the institution had only 42 pupils, because it's not studying. from the confirmation from the boarding school,
So in appendix what?
the very page 8, because from this they're confirming like term 1, term 2, term 3, all the 90 reported. That's what it is here, Chair. And here, the report here is saying, however, a review of the council minutes and the physical inspection conducted on 5th May 2023 at the school revealed that the institution had 42 pupils. That was in May. That had not reported to school. And now, these who were not reported, according to the information from the school, Kabompo Secondary, term 1 they paid. Term 2 also they paid. They were paid for. Why is it that the school is reporting something else and also you are confirming something else? I submit, Chair.
Council Secretary.
Thank you very much
What's
for
your comment on that?
I mean, the brief comment first to start with, it's just to note the good observation raised by the honorables. And I think in the next report we'll try to reconcile this. But basically, if you look at the two statements given on our position and from a school, the school is just trying to reconcile the number of students that are that were in the school at a particular time. So no wonder maybe the differences are coming from the numbers that we are confirming and the number that we are listing. As we are focusing on the 42 that were applied and paid for in the first quarter, because remember, 2022 CDF came in quarters, so the component of the first quarter is what has actually been paid and we picked as it is indicated. So the school subsequently, at the time of reconciliation, they also picked what was paid subsequently in the following funding, which came from quarter 2, or quarter 2, quarter 3, and quarter 4. So basically, the question is on the first quarter, and the amount raised are indicative of the amounts and the number that were expected to be in school at that particular time. I submit, Chair. Thank you.
Chair, the CS is trying to mislead us. We are reading your report. During this quarter, you paid for 90 pupils. And it's coming that 42 had not reported. You can admit if this is the scenario, but if it's not a scenario, are you denying this audit query?
Chair, we've taken, when I responded that we've taken note of the audit query, the status quo is as reflected in the audit report. So the point that we want to marry home is the reconciliation of the 42 that the auditors picked were not in school. Remember, I did indicate that the report that came from our internal auditor was that at a later stage, students were in school. So the 90 pupils that are indicative here has also reflected in the school, the response, that they confirmed that pupils were in school. The number indicated could have that discrepancy because the school would consult with other students that reported in the subsequent year, subsequent quarters.
Council Secretary, when the auditors came, were you around?
No, I was not around, Chair. I'm 5 months old at the station.
Yeah, because I'm getting worried the way you're trying to explain, other than admitting the shortcomings, because procedurally, like everybody has said, there was an oversight. And those explanations that you are now laboring to do were supposed to be given to the auditors. That query would have been dropped if you had the facts at that time. Because as it stands, like our colleagues, unless you are saying 2022 funding, you had nothing as up to December, you had nothing, everything was consumed or used. But if it was still coming to come and question or maybe be used for other students 2023, what stands up to the end? Because if you read this report, it's saying up to 31st December 2022, we close. So if there is some money that we are hanging, that money was not used.
I think, Chair, we shall be laboring and dealing with officers who would come and genuinely trying to defend, because I told go and defend, even when they were not there. So this is the experience I'm getting the days that we have sat. Some of the justifications coming from the responsible officers is not factual. It's not based on the report because they were not there. And one of them is this one. I think in the morning we dealt with another one. Chair, if you look at the same thing, only starting from page 7, on waste for expenditure, where 387,600 was spent only in respect of 51 students that had not reported for school at this school was Mufumbwe Youth Center. When you look at the action taken in report, they're talking about 48, they're talking about 2024. It comes back to what I said earlier. For them, they can mess up things here. They don't rectify, they wait for the ensuing year and fill up the gaps. So it comes to what Honorable Shakafuswa, Simumba, and everyone on the table, Honorable Singombe and everyone is talking about. If you look at this, now, what I'm not comfortable with, Chair, this response should be checked clearly. It is on the remedial measure on the same, on page 8. They're saying the council has since started implementing the guideline from the ministry enshrined in the ministerial circular so dated 4th May 2023, section 2, which states the following: payment of fees to schools should only be made upon confirmation that students reported. Now, everyone will be telling you that now this is what we'll be doing. Before, they could just pay. Someone walks around, no, there are so many students at your school. Can you cut a check of 50,000? They meet along the road. They will cut a check. Chair, professionally and ethically, how can one do the same? Any payment you do, even when you are buying from the market, you should look at the tomatoes you are buying. You know this tomato is worth 5 kwacha, you pay. But someone says, can you pay 5 kwacha? You have not even seen the tomato. So this response, Chair, we should take note as a committee. And it shouldn't come from professionals who are able to justify that we did that wasteful expenditure because before the circular, we couldn't do that. The ministry is guiding professionals, and they can only go to that extent. But when the ministry should be guiding in how they work, how they open the doors from to their offices, then we have a problem. Monies will be wasted the way their monies are being wasted. So I wanted to clear this because it's throughout the justification. Before then, we could just pay. So the auditors are discovering these things.
Give an opportunity. Honorable Singombe has been, his hand has been up for some time.
Thank you very much, Chair, for giving me this opportunity to make a clarification on page 14. Failure to disburse soft loans. CS there, you have clearly indicated that Kavompo Town Council received 2.934,250. And you have also cleared at the foot of that statement that the council has since disbursed the funds totaling to 1.977.500. And when I go to Appendix 12, I see the sum amount having paid for. And there is also a balance of about 900 plus. I wanted an explanation why this money remained. Does it mean the people of Kawompo did not apply for it, or what is happening? Because this money has been, you've indicated it as a balance. And also at the same time, Chair, I want to know whether this money accrued some interest before it was disbursed. How much was that interest? Where is it? Thank you, Chair.
Technical Secretary.
Thank you, Chair and the Honorable, for that good question. I remember in my presentation on the same matter, I did touch on the challenges that applicants were facing in accessing these funds and the interventions that the Council, in collaboration with the lending institution, provided. Basically, the reason why there has been slow uptake on loans, I think it's a problem, phenomenon everywhere, more especially in rural areas. It is just lack of capacity of applicants to meet the benchmarks and the requirements that are put across by the banks. So in our situation, we would find a situation where a lot of visa, several missions where they could travel, they are missing these documents here and there. So what we did to help out is to create a platform where we invited them all and we invited the bank manager to take them through the process of maybe the compliance on what to attach in order to access these funds. So after that was executed, that is thing that saw us to execute and disperse the stated amounts. So the funds that they are indicated on the statement are still sitting, and the process has been ongoing. So Chair recorded tremendous progress in 2023 in dispersing these funds because we have actually implemented that process of trying just to help our local communities in improving on the same matter. This is my rough explanation and answer, brief answer that I can give. Maybe on a part of interest accrued, I may bring in, for indulgence, Chair.
Yes.
My Director of Finance has to keep a light on the term. Thank you.
Director.
Thank you very much, Chair. Yes, the money has also in some interest, and so far it's about 53,000.
Okay, Honorable Gamondo.
Sorry, mine actually is actually on failure to spend as well.
Okay, on page what?
12.
Page 12.
Yes.
Yes. Go ahead.
That there is 53,000 interest. I wanted to know what is it meant for? That money, is it going just to sit there, continue earning interest, or it will be part of the over 900,000 that will be given out as part of the loans to the successful applicants in Kabompo? Or it will be deposited into the bank, the government account?
Director of Finance.
Thank you very much. I think according to the guide, if I'm not mistaken, this money should be reverted back to the people. And I think maybe it was just an omission. It was supposed to appear so that at least we clearly state the exact amount.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Okay. Kabompo, sorry.
Thank you very much. Actually, one of the queries actually which was highlighted by the auditors was the failure to spend. I take you to page 12. Honorable Chairperson, if you look at this table, which is on top, there was an amount of 11,938,162 kwacha. And then number of projects which were brought forward were 5. Number of approved projects were 21. Number of projects completed were 5. Number of work in progress projects 0. And the number of outstanding projects actually 21. Now, there was still this amount which was still outstanding. According to the action taken by the Council, I read the Council has so far spent 9,999,271.54 ngwe on the outstanding 21 projects. 10 projects have been handed over and 11 projects are work in progress. I take you to Appendix 8. When you look at Appendix 8, I've just selected a few projects which I feel have not done very well. On page 5, there is a Kalwilo. In Kalwilo ward, there is Samuhamba Primary School. The contract sum was 628,158, and this is 1/3 classroom block. Up to now, the works that are done are at 40%. Allow me also to go to another one. I've just selected a few. Number 15 on page 8, construction of a 1/3 classroom block at Nkulwanshi, also 632,000. The project made so far is just 40%. Also, at another one, which is the construction of a school at Kalunga Primary School, it is at 40% complete. Now, my question is, I thought that after having queried this council, they should have improved in the way these projects actually are being done. Because some of the projects have been brought from 2021 to 2022. So I feel this is denying the people of Kabompo the much needed resources, especially in terms of schools. And also, if you go further, you also find that, again, on the desks, we still have a problem there. Now, I want to find out from the council secretary, what is it that is missing? Is it something to do with the contractors or something to do with management? And if at all they are doing the monitoring, why is it that these projects are still dragging? Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Council Secretary.
Thank you very much, Chair and Honorable, for that good question. Maybe let me just give you a small preamble on the table just to highlight what the auditors observed when they visited. Truly, when they came, 21 projects had not started. And this is in reference to 2022 funding. The area responses given and the guidelines, which spoke about the timings and the engagement the ministry gave in constituting and training, delayed the procurement of contractors. So that's the thing. If you look at the letters of conveyances and approvals of the projects, you would find that implementation of this project started in 2023. So the project that we've recorded on page 8 appendices is a scheme of what has been scored and registered as progress made so far. The work in progress and the contract alluded to somehow at a percentage is indicated, but at the time that we're producing this is out, yes, we admit they are still work in progress. And mainly I did refer to the fact that we've endeavored to empower local contractors. And this is where we are facing this challenge. But instead of forgetting about these ones, we've created a platform in engagement and upscaling their competencies. Because we discover, Chair, when we give this contract to outsiders, the same people that are in our localities are the ones that are employed to do these works. So why can't we probably empower our own? We recommend and appreciate that there is delay and the uptake has been slow, but with the constant engagement, no wonder we've been able to record this progress that we have indicated. But we are just assuring this August House that with the timing and the engagement that we have made so far, we expect this project to be completed in a very short time. I submit, Chair.
Okay. Honorable Sumumba.
Thank you so much. Just a follow-up on that same.
Honorable Sumumba, we can switch off. Okay.
Yes, I would like you to kindly explain to the committee. When you look on the table, there is number of working projects, number of work in progress projects, 0 there. Then on action taken, the council has so far spent 9,999,271 54 ngwe on the outstanding 21 projects. 10 projects have been handed over and 11 projects are work in progress. Can you please just try to explain to the committee what you mean by the number of work in progress on projects on top, which is 0, and the work in progress, which is 11 there. What's the correlation? Can you please explain to us?
Thank you very much, Chair, and the Honorable for that question. As I earlier spoke, the 0 on the table is a status quo of the auditors at the time that they visited and carried out this audit. So the action taken, it's a position that we are stating as council in responding to what the auditors observed. What have we done in responding to the status quo? So this is a thing that has brought us now to completing 10 projects and actually brought the 11, which are still work in progress and at advanced stages, which will be completed soon. I think that's my explanation, Chair. Thank you.
Honorable Simumba.
Thank you very much. On the same, on page 11. On page 11, Chair, when you look at failure to spend, there is this 22 million. And the 22 million, you are saying so far the council, for the projects, they have spent 9 million to 10 million. Now, my interest, Chair, is on 4,810,000, which was meant for grants. And you are stating here that this fund, you have committed them to the projects, which are still on work in progress. I wanted to find out if you had to seek authority to value this 4,810,890 so that you can commit them to community projects. I submit here. And which one? Under which appendix you should show us the evidence that you had to seek authority for this amount. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chair, and the Honorable. I think the balance that is indicating, if you look at the 22 million, Chair, it's a block figure that has a composition of the components of the funding. And according to the auditors, there is a variance and there is also a balance brought forward. But what we've picked at spend is actually broken down in the parameters as we've indicated. So in the component of project, we are indicating that we have not spent 4 million. We have spent 9 million. If you add 9 plus 4, I think the balance of 4 million that is still remaining is the amount that has been committed to the work in progress. Those projects that we indicated in the appendix that we still have 11 projects that are work in progress. So there's no cross-matching and movement of funds from, or varying of funds from a certain component of CDF, but we have just remained with excess money that are still sitting on a funding for project component. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Mwene, Honorable Shakafuso, and then Honorable Nyambosa.
Thank you so much, Chair. CS, I would like to take you to page 14. Failure to produce monitoring reports. CS, during the time of audit, you could not produce the monitoring reports. And you have written here on your action taken that the reports were misplaced during the change of CDF office space and have since been traced. You have told us to see Appendix 11, which is not in this file. As if that is not enough, Appendix 3 equally is not in this file. And on top of that, CS, you are telling the committee that the reports have, the reports have now been found. How authentic or how possible is it that you can convince this committee that truly the reports that you have now found are the ones that were missing and not just doctored ones? Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, yes, can you respond to that?
Thank you, Chair, and the Honorable for that good question. Let me just maybe refer to my deliberation in the first place. I did indicate that there are some attachments in the nature and the volume they could not be factored and be attached to a document that we are perusing through. However, I spoke that Appendix 11, it's a box file which we've created containing the minutes. So at the time that the audit came, these were in a disarray in the process of trying to recreate space, so they were omitted. But after perusing through when we were queried, we discovered this and we have put them in a box file, itemized at Appendix 11. I would ask maybe the officers to avail that box file to the honorables, so much that they appreciate the reason why it has not been attached to the document. It's a big document, which we thought maybe at the time of cross-examination, the managers or the honorables will be able to look through. Similarly, item 3 that the honorable was referred to, it was a query on failure to produce monitoring reports or minutes from the WDCs. So it's equally a box full of reports that are signed by the WDCs. So if you look at the amounts and the volumes, we could not attach and make it one document.
Do we have only one or we have many of them?
It is just one box sheet with a composition of all the items that have been raised and attached.
Yes, Honorable Nyambose.
Chair, me, I'm getting interested. All the councils, when they come here, they will tell you that we misplaced the evidence during the time of renovations, or this office was moving to another office. Take note, Chair, as we proceed. That is a standard that is coming from the council. To me, it is not showing any seriousness, Chair. And this is not the issue the government should follow. Chair, if that was the case, the evidence that they are producing now, why didn't they show the auditors the same evidence? And we are evidence-based committee, Chair. This is not an issue. They should have said in the preliminaries to indicate that you note in our report that Appendix 3 is not attached, it is here with us. Or it should have been submitted in advance. Actually, this should have been submitted in advance for us to go through them. Now we are winding up, then they are bringing this. How do we scrutinize? Because we read and check. So this, Chair, is not a very good excuse for me, but I get concerned. Councils, what is happening to this local government?
Yes, before you answer that, I think, Honorable
Chair.
Mwene,
Yes.
is it something to do with the
Exactly,
same subject?
exactly.
Okay. Honorable Mwene, you ask a question, and then after that, actually, Honorable Fonakonde will also ask.
Thank you. CS, moving or creating an office space cannot equate to missing a big file of such a volume. This is conclusion that CS, your council has got poor records management, and you are just trying now to bring documents to order when you were coming to appear before this committee. Why is it that CS, you have got poor records management in your council? Because looking at that file, CS, it's not a small thing like a coin that it can get lost. Why is it that you have got poor records management in your council, CS? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Where are the others? Can I bring them? The whole lot of it. The whole lot of it. The whole box. The whole box. Chair, I would want to demonstrate something so that even as we are trying to... Chair, this is the box that was misplaced at the time of audit, and the very box has resurfaced. It's here with us. So now, I would want to find out, because they need to be telling us the truth. You know, this is a committee that is based on the evidence, and it's good that we came with this box to tell us that this box was just somewhere hidden, and the officers knew where the box was. I would want to find out, where did you find these boxes, was it within where you were changing the offices, or it was found at somebody's house? Chair, I submit.
Just to add on that, Council Secretary and your team, we want you people to help us, okay? I've indicated to you when you came in that we want to get information from you, and that information should be factual information. That information should be very simple. When the auditors are planning to visit your institution, there are stages. They will write to you, they notify you, they give you days. And even when they come there, if, for instance, that whole box you can't find it today, the auditors will still be there. Maybe they will spend a week. So the whole week would not pick up even one file. The whole box is not there for the whole week, that the duration that the auditors will be at your institution. You could be number 5 now from the time we started, where we are recording the same thing. Every time the renovation will not be done at your office as CS or anywhere else, but where the files are. No, we are expanding. No, we are rearranging. No, we bought new cabins. Just like that, all the councils. There could be a school where you go to and learn these things and learn to just copy from each other and bring those things. But basically, at times, it becomes very difficult for us to believe, Council Secretary, if you are seated here, to believe that these things definitely are not found. Because when the external auditors go back, these, in every council, they will resurface. And to us, we have every reason to believe that these are manufactured documents, just to cover up the queries, just to make sure that the queries from the auditor somehow, answered. But if we are working like that, not only your council, all these councils that are coming through, and those that will still come, and I know you will still come. Just imagine if you think out of the box. You think to say, where is development? If the people that are interested, if the engine of development, which are the local authorities, are not giving us factual information, are the ones that would want to cover up things. Just for once, think of what kind of a nation you have tomorrow.
Before he comes, Chair, I don't just want to repeat what you said. Chair, is what Honorable Simumba and everyone is saying on this table. Chair, is quite sad. For me, especially that I come from the same local government, it's quite demoralizing. Chair, these councils are merely indicating that these auditors are doing wrong things. I don't know which word can I use. Government is spending money to go and audit the councils, and they find these weaknesses. They don't respond to them. They tell the auditors, in short, what they are saying, that you do find whatever you can write, we shall come with the evidence, we shall show the committee. They can't show the auditors. This should come to an end. Chair, if you look at page 13. Page 13, Chair. Questionable disbursements of CDF to the tune of 23,000 kwacha. Application was approved by the CDF and was approved by the CDF and the ministry. However, the applicant had attached a registration certificate for a different group.
But paid.
And paid. These are technocrats that we have entrusted. And the beauty about this time, the local government now, Chair, we have qualified personnel.
Internal auditor, did you see
and
that?
These qualified personnel, this is where you have these weaknesses now. Internal audit, qualified. Director of Finance, qualified. DPO, qualified. Socio-economic planner, qualified. They are the ones who see these documents. The poor CDF committee members do not scrutinize documents. They are guided by the same qualified personnel who know that this certificate is for another group. They make payment and it is released. Now, the interest chair is look at the response, the remedial measure. The applications are being scrutinized by CDF before submission for approval. Now they are saying they will be scrutinizing this. At the time of audit, all these things from page 1 to page last, laissez-faire, no proper accountability, public resources, enhanced CDF, which is supposed to benefit the people of Kabompo and the people of Zambia. We have a challenge, Chair. They are challenging the office of the internal auditor, internal audit. Whatever they can do, they will come here and say they came. The other one says no, they came at night. This is we have to stop this. It's worrying, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Chair,
honourable
on the-
members. Yes.
just on the same.
Yes.
Reasons for questionable, Chair, there is no application form.
Where? Where?
They never applied. These people which they paid, the auditors, they are saying there was no even an application form. And the CS and the team, they paid the very club which never applied.
Thank you. So what happened was the other club didn't apply, but because of the appetite to spend, to pay, they got another certificate from somewhere, attached it and paid a different one. That is the reality on the report. Auditor, a minute. Auditor, did you see that?
Actually, what it is, in accordance with the Public Finance Management Act, #1 of 2018, it's mandatory that the internal auditor should ensure internal controls. But in this case, there is pre and post audit. But on my part, that was post audit.
You don't do pre?
Both.
Yeah, because you look, internal auditor, that's what I'm saying. You will not come and lecture us here. The honorable member for Chasef said that we sit here because there is pre and the post. Okay?
Yes.
Financial Management, Public Financial Management Act number 1 of 2018. Section 49, 50, and 51. I want to read to look at those. I don't have my act here. I think it's in the vehicle. You look at that, and especially Section 51, financial misconduct. This is financial misconduct, and go and read and hear what it says. The disciplinary or the consequences of somebody behaving the way we are behaving as Kabombo, financial misconduct. It's evident that you, as an internal auditor, you must have seen this, and then you, because the law requires you, or the regulation requires you to certify. It's a red pen to pass that thing to be paid. Management will just, even if they don't read, if they see the red pen where you have marked, they will quickly pay. They will do anything because they know you have done your job.
Yes.
So you will not come here and tell us, post auditing, this is what I got. Are you going to wait until you find things are wrong? That's when you audit? No. So we'll make a recommendation. I think we have gone beyond our time. We'll make a recommendation on this particular council. We want to tell you one thing that, like I've indicated, that you are not in court, but you must do the right thing. The country, the nation, and the society, your communities depend on the local authority to deliver service. If you are going to have projects that will run from 2021, 2022, coming to 2024, and the people are reporting for work every day. They put on their jacket, they go in offices, they hang the jacket and just do other things. And the government is spending money. People are paid to do that. No, the fact that the government increased the CDF, can you switch off that mic? Thank you. Increased the CDF funding to all the local authorities was the fact that we must enhance, service delivery. And we depend on you people. Everybody depends, the government depends on you, community, society depends on you, that we are going to see things that are going to come and maybe make our lives better than they were yesterday. When we talk of schools, when we talk of clinics, when we talk of skills development, everything is dependent upon you. But if you are going to pay, even before you scrutinize, if you are going to do anything, then what was the essence of the government to increase the funding? You are a new man there, Council Secretary. Make sure that you seal up all these and make sure that every department should be functional accordingly. We would not want, going forward, I know you'll be appearing before this committee in the next few months, but we would not want to encourage people to be appearing here. And we do not want to encourage, this is the message we are giving every local authority that appears before us, a situation where the documents will not be available during the audit when the external auditors come. And immediately they leave, then you indicate, no, we found them, they are in another room and things like that. That will not be condoned. Because then whatever the auditors will bring as having been shortcomings from that local authority, we will not entertain the second submission. We will not entertain that. We will take it and make a recommendation based on what the external auditors have done. That's all. Because this thing of giving people second chance, I think it's not helping us. It's destroying the nation. You have a word, Minister of Local Government?
Before the word from the ministry, I as a normal person, try to wonder so much on how CSA, such kind of financial irregularities can happen in your council. Is it, you can start thinking to say, for a cooperative without an application form attached on it, without names, without anything, to be financed like that, you can even start thinking to say, are these council employees that are now have now started the drawing also from this CDF, that now they don't want to come out depicting that they are the ones that are drawing this money from CDF or what? Because this is a financial irregularity that cannot chair be accepted, because there is no way you can finance somebody without a name.
I've taken note of that.
Thank you, Chair.
Mr. Kazinga?
Thank you, Chair, for your indulgence on this matter and in respect of Kabompo Town Council's appearance. I think we agree with the observation the committee has made, and Kabompo Town Council, just like any other council that has appeared or yet to appear, or those who might not appear, is to treat or take CDF programs as a very, very serious program, and which shouldn't be treated as a by-the-way assignment. Because this, far and large, this is how much this country is going to develop. And CS and your team, yes, you are new, fully understand the mandate, why you have been taken to Kabompo. Let us work around and ensure as each financial year comes to an end, we can account every action that we have spent at that council. I think, Chair, that's what we can submit from the ministry.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We wish you well, Kabompo Town Council, and we hope that working together we improve in weaknesses, all the shortcomings here and there, to be able to be polished. With that said, now I wish to withdraw the immunity that was conferred on you at the beginning of our interaction, and we wish you well as we go back to Kavombo. Thank you very much.
Parliament TV, bringing Parliament closer to you.
The Clerk of the National Assembly of Zambia wishes to inform all members of Parliament and the general public that the third session of the 13th National Assembly, which adjourned sine die on Friday, 15th December 2023, will resume on Tuesday, 13th February 2024 at 14:30 hours.
Cholera is an acute diarrheal infection caused by ingestion of food or water contaminated with the bacterium Vibrio cholerae.
Symptoms of cholera include vomiting, diarrhea, and dehydration.
How do you prevent cholera?
Be sure to drink and use safe water that has been boiled or chlorinated.
Wash your hands with soap and safe water before handling the food or after using the toilet.
Use clean water to wash your vegetables and fruits. Avoid eating foods from the street that have been exposed to flies.
Always eat food that is completely cooked and hot.
Make sure to visit your nearest health care center when you have suspected cholera cases.
Remember, prevention is better than cure.
Keep watching Parliament Television, a station that brings Parliament